some Latino voters are angry with President Trump over his ICE and deportation measures. They feel that they were used. Let's get to a news feed that discusses it.
A wave of disappointment. One of President Donald Trump's most loyal voting blocs, Cuban and Venezuelan immigrants. Now speaking out in Miami, a Republican stronghold, as the recent wave of deportations hits home and the Trump administration moved to end temporary legal status, or TPS, for more than 500,000 people who arrived during the Biden administration. Elena Conde says she came here from Cuba on humanitarian parole in 2023. Her husband, Ariel Lara, crossed the border with Mexico twice, once in 2019 when he was detained and deported, and then again in 2022. 6 weeks ago, he was taken into custody at his residency hearing.
So he was given an appointment to go to ICE. You told him before he left for that appointment, you don't have anything to worry about. You haven't done anything.
Instead, he was transferred to Texas, where we spoke to him from his detention center.
Ariel, ¿qué piensas sobre lo que está pasando ahora en este país, en este momento con respecto a las deportaciones? How do you feel about everything that's happening right now in this country with the deportations? No sé cómo. You don't understand how this could happen. ¿Qué pensaba que iba a pasar cuando ganó Trump? What did you think was going to happen when Trump won? You're saying you believed the president when he said he was going to deport criminals.
Now,
yes, and many did. Oh, I'm not a criminal. Even though I came here illegally and technically broke the law, but that's just a misdemeanor. And for anybody who think that that's a felony, that's not a felony. It's actually just a misdemeanor, guys. But Uncle Trump, or what that person who called him Daddy Trump, they're not playing any games. They're not playing any games. If you're not here legally, meaning that you came through a port of entry, you have a visa and stuff like that, they're going to possibly get rid of you. And it's sad because this man doesn't seem that he's the person that's committing any crimes. He has a family, wife, and all that stuff, but they don't care. They don't care. And this is what we voted for. Like, Trump lied. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. He lied. He said him and Tom Homan said, we're only going to go after the hardened criminals. That's who we're going to focus on, and that's it. And then they just flipped the script. Ain't that something? Man, sad, man. Very, very sad.
Elena is left behind with her daughter, 7-month-old son, and Ariel's 70-year-old grandmother, who has been a U.S. citizen for years. Together, facing a reality they never imagined.
Toda mi familia votó por Trump.
Your whole family voted for Trump. Lo apoyaba a Trump durante su campaña. Did you support him?
Yo estoy fuera.
You're outside of it. You can't vote. Pero te sientes decepcionada? Do you feel disappointed, deceived, engañada?
Me siento mal porque sé que ellos creían en él.
You feel bad because the rest of them believed in him.
It's a concern Democratic strategists are capitalizing on, with billboards like these calling Republican lawmakers traitors. Still, here in Florida, Trump won almost 70% of the Cuban American vote in 2024, along with 61% of Doral, home to the largest Venezuelan American population in the U.S.
They used us.
Adelis Ferro is the co-founder and executive director of the Venezuelan American Caucus.
How is the Venezuelan community feeling right now, especially in the context of these deportations?
Desperate, terrified. There are people with mental health issues. There are people with panic attacks, anxiety attacks. They rather to die than go back to Venezuela, and then
people
have to stop.
People are talking about taking their lives.
I have those messages.
Because the situation here
Because of the situation. They rather
so
to take their own lives, yes, than go back to Venezuela.
The ripple.
I mean, that's obvious. Venezuela is a country that has a terrible, terrible economy. So, of course, they would say, listen, I'm not going back to Venezuela. I'm just going to die here. That's tough. That's tough. But when you come here illegally, even if you try to get temporary resident status or protection status, it was just temporary. See, Uncle Biden because so many people used to call him Sleepy Joe and say he had these problems and stuff. He looked out for a lot of people. I can't even say looked out for a lot of people. They looked the other way. All right. They put on their blinders and be like, oh, I don't see anything. See no evil, hear no evil. And now with Trump and with the way that ICE is raiding a lot of places, listen, if you get swept up, you're going to be taking out this country. Now, did I vote for this? Yes, I did. I voted for Trump to make sure that the criminals are caught, because especially in New York, we had a lot of migrant gangs and stuff like that running rampant. But causing families to be destroyed, especially families of people who are that's trying their best to work hard in this country, I ain't vote for that. I really didn't vote for that.
Effects affecting families and businesses. This Venezuelan business owner, who asked us not to use his name to protect his business and fellow owners, said the political instability has led to a 20% drop in revenue.
It's affected your clients as well as the people who work here. A lot of people have already invested in businesses here, and they've stopped because they just don't know what the future brings.
Still, experts say the current turmoil may not hurt the Republican Party.
All this stuff done in the first 200 days of the administration. They have a long road ahead before the midterms.
Do you think that Trump will pay a political price?
I'm not sure that Trump or the Republican Party as an institution is going to suffer a great deal unless the Democrats can muster an opposition that is a compelling vision as to how things could be done differently.
Morgan Radford, NBC News.
Let me tell you something. I doubt that area there in Florida is going to flip for the Democrat Party. I doubt it for real. All right. Because when it really comes down to it, many people knew what they were voting for. They knew it from 2016 to 2020. All right, come on. We can say that we didn't know. I knew what I was voting for. I voted for him because of immigration and because of the economy and stuff like that. And basically, the way things are going, he's messing up both. Well, the immigration, he's doing what he got to do with that one. But the economy, maybe, so with Doge and stuff, firing a whole bunch of people, that's messed up. But people there in Florida, Latinos, if you voted for him and you voted for this, you got what you got. I mean, come on. Like, listen, my family on my mother's side is from Jamaica, my father's side is from Trinidad. Trump is deporting Jamaicans. Trump is deporting Trinidadians. If they were committing crimes or came into this country illegally, oh, well, they got to go. And I'm not going to lose a lick of sleep, because my family came here legally. Come on now. So just because you came here illegally and you're trying to do your best to get the paperwork, if you don't know that even if you marry an American, there's a chance that you might have to go back to your country. That's why a lot of people for years and years and years don't have any paperwork. But it's sad. I don't want to see anybody quarreling and crying and stuff like that, especially for the young child to not see her father. That's the sad part. But that's another reason why they want to get rid of birthright citizenship, which I don't agree with, because the 14th Amendment clearly states that any person who was born here or naturalized is an American citizen. So, but, it's how people feel about it. But I want to hear from you guys. I want to know what you think about this one. I feel that, yes, they should be upset, but they should look themselves in the mirror because they voted for this. That's just my opinion on it, but I want to hear from you. I want to know what you think about this. I really appreciate you watching, especially you watching all the way to the end. Thank you. If you haven't already, please like the video. As I said before, make some comments and subscribe to this channel if you haven't already as well. All that good stuff would help as I continue to grow on this YouTube platform. I really appreciate each and every one of you. I love each and every one of you. Thank you so much for watching. Be safe. Have a wonderful, wonderful day. Peace.